What is up, Buzz Nation? Welcome back to yet another one from us. We are coming back to you from Congo. So guys, the story or the issue about Congo has been happening for years. And I think at this point, people call it a controversial issue. Some call it a difficult topic to understand, even to unpack. But we are so lucky to have Professor P.L.O. Lumumba and former President of South Africa, Thabo Mbeki, explain just briefly what is happening in Congo and what really has to happen to the issue of Congo. I think they've unpacked it in such a simple way that most people keep blaming Kagame, but here's another perspective to this Congo issue. Please watch these two videos and we'll come back with our commentary.
Why do I say that the boundaries are also part of the problem? Because of the arbitrariness with which the boundaries were drawn, you now find different ethnicities across borders. Take, for example, Rwanda and Burundi, what was known as Rwanda and Burundi. You find people who were described as Tutsis and Hutus, and you find also a large population of the Tutsis, sometimes referred to as the Banyamulenge, who are in Congo, so that they are Congolese. They are not Rwandese on the basis of the boundaries that we have. Nyerere, the former president of Tanzania, actually during the early days in 1970, when he was asked to mediate, said, when we talk about the Tutsi in Congo, they are not Rwandese. They are Congolese according to the boundaries that we inherited. And for that reason, it is incumbent upon the governments and administrations in Congo to treat them as Congolese. The fact that they have their kith and kin in Burundi and in Rwanda does not make them Rwandese or Burundians. And he made this example, he gave this example. For example, the Maasai in Kenya and the Maasai in Tanzania, they are Maasais, but they are those who by dint of the boundaries are now Kenyans and others Tanzanians. And that is yet another conflict. It is a conflict which has given birth to what is now known as the M23. The M23 are people of Tutsi origin who are Congolese. But they are now being told, no, you are not Congolese, you are Rwandese, and that is why you see the frequent accusations that the Rwandese government is supporting them, and the frequent denials by the Rwandese administration that they are not supporting them. The other conflict that has emerged in Congo is that Congo has become what one may say a rare ground for fighting groups from Uganda. The ADF, when they were expelled by the current NRM regime, went into the forests in Congo. You remember that even Joseph Kony at one time went to Central Africa through Congo. There is also evidence to suggest that there are Burundian fighters, rebels also in Congo, in those thick forests.
The situation in the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo, that conflict, I'll repeat myself what I've said publicly, that the Congo, like all of us, we inherited colonial boundaries. And when the colonialists drew up the boundaries of the Democratic Republic of Congo, they included in the eastern parts of the Congo populations that were Rwanda speaking. These are Congolese in terms of those colonial borders. But the problem for us and problem for the Congolese is that certainly even during the days of Mobutu, they did not want to recognize the Rwandese who were Congolese as Congolese. You even had a formation there in the eastern Congo of a military group, a militia, which was called the Mai Mai. The Mai Mai whose purpose was to drive away these Rwandans back to Rwanda. And Mobutu was encouraging that. That problem persists to this day. As you know, in the Congo, the DRC is a very big country. And one of the challenges since the return of democracy, which was there before, it persists, is the footprint of the government from Kinshasa is not necessarily strong everywhere in the country. So in the Kivus, this is part of the problem, in the Kivus in the Far East. That's why you have the M23. It's because the Rwandan people, the Banyamulenge in eastern Congo, have for many decades felt this, that they don't have the protection of the government in Kinshasa. So they need to protect themselves. In addition, you've had this challenge of the people who committed the genocide in Rwanda, then they ran away into the eastern Congo. So they are also there. Some of them involved in all sorts of schemes and naturally to try and overthrow the government in Rwanda. I'm saying that the first, my view, is the first part in terms of dealing with the crisis in the eastern Congo is recognizes that the Banyamulenge are Congolese. The Rwandan-speaking section of the population of the Congo is Congolese, and therefore must be protected by the government of the Congo, like all the population of the Congo is entitled to protection by the government. That's a starting point. And then this issue has to be dealt with. Then what about the interests of Rwanda in the eastern Congo, about the Rwandans? This group that committed the genocide, as well as these Rwandan-speaking people. How do you regulate that relationship? But I'm saying the principal responsibility falls on the government of the Congo to protect the Rwandan-speaking population of the eastern Congo, of the Kivus.
So guys, we've seen us commenting about the Congo. It's a sad issue because millions, about 10 million, over 10 million people have been killed in the last 1 decade. We always hear of displacement. There are a lot of IDP, people are killed.
Women, children being raped.
Then you hear there are about more than 200 terrorist groups. But you know, when the international media tells us anything, they only tell us about M23.
Yeah.
But according to these two guys, and according to Rwanda President Kagame, M23 is a group of people fighting for their people who are being, you know, crucified in Congo as being from Rwanda. And that's where now they say Kagame is funding M23. But sometimes she asked me a question. She asked me what I thought about this, and I said, if I was Kagame and it's my, you know, we have people who are in 2 different countries because the borders are not ours. We were divided by the colonial people. So if I was Kagame, would I support M23? I would. Because the government of Congo wants to exterminate them.
Yeah, fails to recognize them as Congolese.
But they are Congolese, only that their country was divided into 2. So we have 2 options here. Either the Congo government accepts them, or that land, it gives it to Rwanda, so that these people can
get a home.
Be Rwandese.
Yeah.
But now we have Tshisekedi, the president of Congo, supported by, you know, the West and the people who are mining in Congo, because some of these terrorist groups are used by these multinational companies to exploit the people, you know, like slavery, young people, mining, and then they sell the minerals at a lower price, they make the phones and all that. Then we have others which are in bed with the national government. Then we have M23, which is fighting for the people. I once saw a video of M23 leaders talking to the people, and I wondered, are these the people we are being told that they are terrorists? So that is one thing that we need to do. Another thing is the problem with Congo is with the national government. It's not with Kagame, it's not with the international community. Then last week, there's a guy who was trending, who is like the ambassador of Congo to the Israel, and they were saying Israel is highly involved in this through that guy.
I think it is a controversial issue indeed. But I think they've really unpacked it very simply. Congolese government should protect Rwandese people in Congo. Rwandese speaking people in Congo. They are Congolese, they are not Rwandese.
They are Hutu. The Hutu are the ones in the government of Congo, because that is the army. It's the one that is like with the army. But then the Tutsis are the one who are being crucified.
Now PLO says that it's like the Maasais in Kenya and the Maasais in Tanzania. So if you have to crucify them for being Maasais living in Tanzania, it doesn't make sense, because the only home they recognize is Tanzania. How do you now tell them to go back home? You want to remove them? I mean, they are from Congo, they are Congolese. It's just that they happen to speak the language of the neighboring country, which is bordering them.
And do you know said that the first time. Former president of Tanzania, who is late, Julius Nyerere.
Mwalimu. So guys, let us know what you think in the comment section down below. Please don't forget to like the video, share the video, and definitely subscribe. We'd love to hear your views on this. We know most of you are still mad at Kagame for your own reasons, but let us know in the comment section down below.
You need to go down into this. And Tshisekedi, I so agree with this guy, because when President Uhuru of Kenya was like the mediator, things were working very well. But if this guy went to the UNGA and said that we are not going to give them, a sit down, that was the worst thing he could ever done. I mean, they need to sit down with M23 and talk. Then they need to disband all those terrorist groups and fight them, and come to a conclusion that it's Congo without the terrorist groups, and then build their country. But as long as you are in bed with the international companies and those international guys who are exploiting Congo, the solution will never be found.
See you in the next one.
Bye bye.